head coach John Cooper after a 79-70 loss to Northern Kentucky at the Target Court Sports Classic. Coach, your opening statement.
Well, I mean, I thought, we started the game out with pretty good energy, actually, and we're pretty locked in. And, of course, Northern settled down, and I thought they did a really good job of crashing the boards. I thought they did a good job of filling up the paint on Michael and really, in some ways, forcing some other guys to make plays. When you look at what McDonald and Holland did, I thought they were really good. McDonald's such a smart player. He's really, really skilled, and it looked like to me McDonald came out to prove that, hey, I'm just as good, and forced Michael to really have to guard and play. And I thought they got a terrific lift on the threes from Cole Murray when he came in the game and hit them at crucial times. On our end, we've got to get better production out of our juniors, and Rod Mills has to play better, period. I'm not going to make any excuses for that, and I don't believe in getting on kids, but you've got to have a better game, a better effort, a better tournament when you're a junior and play better. And Darius didn't rebound, so we've got to get that corrected. He's got to be able in 20 minutes. He's got to help us on the boards and also do that. But I look at the freshmen, and I'm looking there late in the game, and heck, we got three puppies in down the stretch. So that makes it hard. I thought obviously Dion gives you effort, and I thought Haruna's effort was there and everything else. But, we've just got to be able to get more. Zach McCormick, I don't know what else to say about him. I was talking to him in the locker room. I don't know if there's a kid that's more committed, because I know what he's dealing with, and to step in and take that charge, which is right about in the same area he took the one against Northern Illinois last year that ended the season, and then, of course, to take that one again and give it up for the team, and now he's out for the rest of the game, shows where his level of commitment is, and that's what we have to have. And as far as Jake, I talked to him about a couple of the shots, particularly the one when we were down 4 and we come down, and it's basically, I want to say it's one pass and a shot. That wasn't a good shot. And there's a fine line between being a shooter and having confidence and not wanting to interrupt that. But you also have to understand time and score of the game. And that would also help. And, and I told him, it's different maybe if you've made 4 or 5 in a row, or you're hot and smoking, just going, and they can't cool you off. But at that time of the game, we had made a run, we had knocked it down, and that's a great time to get a possession. But not only that, we were in the foul shot situation, so now we're in the double bonus, if I remember, and we get a chance to get to the free throw line. So those are areas that, we've got to get better in and continue to improve. We got to the foul line 24 times, not bad. I'd like to get there more. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well today and from 3, and we didn't shoot the ball yesterday particularly well from 3.
Open up for questions.
Is this a team that you think eventually, say by conference time, might be able to get, more out of the 3-point game? It kind of looks like there are some shooters, but even at the end, it looked like maybe they were passing up on some threes when maybe we're trying to come back and going for the 2s and what. But you think you can get more out of the 3-point game?
Yeah, I think we're a better shooting team than what we showed the past 2 days, no doubt. And to be quite honest, if you watch on film the 3s we missed yesterday, we had some great looks. And part of it starts with Rod. Rod's got to give us more. It's that simple. And obviously a great kid and does all the right things, but we've got to get more from him. And it's not about scoring points. That's not what I mean. It's about having a purpose, playing with a purpose out there on the court, and putting your prints on the game. I think that's also important. Marcus only takes 3 shots, but Marcus is in the game. He's involved. You see him. He has his prints. He gets 6 rebounds. So those are the kind of things that I mean.
I see here where Michael had two assists today, but it looks like he could have had several more at least. But some of the stuff that he dishes off and everything isn't being handled all that all that well on the other end.
Well, no doubt. I mean, there are a couple of opportunities there where he should have had assists. Dump offs, guys don't handle the pass. There are good passes, guys don't handle them, or they bobble them, or they're not able to finish the play. And so, that certainly makes it tough. But you got to still make the right play, and then you got to be ready. You've got to be ready because he's drawing so much attention right now offensively that there are going to be open people. And Mike's still got to get better. We got to get Mike stronger. I mean, you guys look at him out there. I mean, the kid's just out there running around. It looks like he's about 12 years old to me when you look at him. But he's got to, and that will help him. That will help him deal with a lot of the contact that he's seeing. But, do I think this team grew? Absolutely. Because I can't these things that we just went through, late situations in games the last 2 days, as much as you try to replicate that in practice, you can't do it like today. And so as much as I hate losing that game, we're coming down the stretch and things are going on. We're going offense, defense substitutions. We're fouling. We're having to execute. Those are things that I can't teach as much as I want to teach without it happening in a game. And so that is another added benefit. But, the puppies they're playing. And quite frankly, they're doing a pretty decent job. They really are.
Coach, they shot, close to 50% for most of the game before, finishing at 45.3. Is that something, talking about the pups, kind of stepping up and kind of learning that intensity or what it takes defensively or the system, or what is it there?
Well, a couple of things is, one, I thought McDonald helps that. He's getting the ball around the rim, and he's able to finish, and he's such a skilled player. They're able to drive the ball. Holland made some shots from outside, but he was able to get in and finish. So that certainly helps. I mean, Darius has 6 shots tonight. Darius could have had more, whether you bobble or whether you turn over one or whatever. But those are the kind of looks, and you get that depth and where he's getting the ball. I mean, there's one he gets all the way deep, and he should have just put it in with his left hand. He puts it in with his right, and he misses it. If you look at some of the shots Michael's getting all the way to the paint and the ones that he missed, you're shooting 50%. So, the shots aren't the problem. They really aren't. We still got to do a better job of being able to guard the bounce. And Northern Kentucky is a hard prep on one day just because of how they run their offense. They do a good job with the action that they're running. But we've got to take advantage of all the opportunities that are right there that we get in the paint and around the rim and be able to finish those.
All right, do I have any more?
Okay.
3 games in 3 days, it's probably just a blur in their head. I don't know about you, but is there anything that can be gleaned, from this? Maybe even something you didn't expect over that much basketball this early in the season with a lot of new kids.
Well, yeah, I think one, what Marcus Weathers was able to do. I think that is certainly a bright spot, and I guess, he played 26 minutes tonight. I think his minutes just continued to increase throughout the tournament because he has an effect on the game, and he's got to get better. So I think that was a positive, certainly for us as a group, and that's something that we can grow from because he has the ability to sit down and defend, and he's got some toughness about him. We've got to get Rod Mills in another world than where he's at here the past 2 out of 3 games. We've got to get the Rod Mills that was at Wright State. And he doesn't have to score 17 like he scored at Wright State, but that's who we have to have, and he's got to catch the ball and be confident and have a look of determination and ready to go from the very beginning. We got to continue with Darius, taking advantage of when you get it inside, scoring or getting fouled, those scenarios. And then we've got to just continue to work on guarding the basketball off the bounce. But, I think there's a lot that we can get from this tournament that we can learn from. And I'll say it again, I like this group. I do. And, depending on what kind of night it is, it dictates some of our rotations and what we'll be able to do. I mean, when I took Darius out there last time, I didn't take him out planning that he probably wouldn't come back in. That definitely wasn't the plan, but it just so ended up that way. Whether it was the right decision or not, I don't know. I'll sit and watch tape, but that's just what happened. But, you know, we ended up going small, and we got on a run there where we got quite a few stops in a row. And Marcus really took the place of Rod. And quite frankly, he hadn't played that position hardly at all this year.
All right, any more questions? All right, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Michael. Team had a handful of pretty good runs to kind of get things close, but it seemed Northern Kentucky just kind of had an answer each time. I guess thoughts on today?
I thought that Northern Kentucky ran their offense down to the point where they just executed very well, and we didn't. We came down and rushed shots, came down, didn't execute our offense. I think that's what got us out of our game, and running in transition is what got us out of our game also.
3 days of basketball, what, if anything, can be gleaned from your experience?
Just the fact that I can learn from all this and take notes from all the games that I've played, and just becoming a better basketball player overall.
Was there anything that Northern Kentucky did that was different somewhat, or posed problems that maybe some of the other teams didn't?
I think what they did, they started off with a press. I think that got us out of our game. We played faster and didn't run our sets, and we just played ahead of ourselves. So I think that got us in some trouble right there.
They had that big, an 11-point lead at one point in time, then you guys kind of made that big run and cut it to 4. Was it just one of those things that just kind of ran out of steam? Was it just a little bit too big of a hole to kind of dig out of, or?
I think it was that. I think we were just fatigued from always coming back from a deficit. But I think if we go into practice and go into the rest of our season learning that we have to play with energy from the first half and carry that over to the second half, I think we can start winning basketball games more.